Hey everyone, I thought it would be fun to do a video on my top 10 favorite Tombow marker colors. Tombows are a water-based dual tip marker where you have a felt tip on one side and a finer bullet tip for finer details on the other side. I like to use my Tombows on their own and layered up like I have in this sketchbook. I also like to lay them down first and put mixed media on them, such as Neocolors in this sketch, or Neocolors, colored pencils, and other media in these sketches. I also really like to use Tombows in my landscapes where I lay down large blocks of color before going in with details from other medias. And recently I've been enjoying using them with my ink pens to make visual journal spreads like you see here. Tombows come in 108 colors, and I've collected quite a few of them, so it was really tricky narrowing down what my top 10 favorites were. But I decided to go with the ones that I find myself reaching for the most, the ones that when I look through my sketchbook show up consistently in most of my sketches, and the ones if I were to go out on location and sketch or travel, the ones that I know I would take with me. I have some other water-based markers like my Eco Lines or my Faber-Castells that I really love, but one thing I will say that Tombows have above the other two is their color selection. I find that they have so many amazing, unique colors to choose from. I wish Eco Line had more options, more muted tones, just more of a selection in general. You can find Tombows as well as Eco Lines and other brands in packs and individually. I have purchased Tombows on Amazon and Blick, and I'm sure they sell them on their website as well. I will list different links in the description box below where you can find them and where I've purchased them. Tombows were my first foray into markers in general. I remember I took a Skillshare class by one of my favorite artists, Dylan M. I think it was a few years ago now, and she was doing bullet journaling, and she was doing some live classes with these Tombow markers, and I was hooked after that because I loved how easy they were to use. I love how quick and efficient it was to sketch. It really changed the way I approach sketchbooks. I started sketching a lot more after I got into watermarkers. And now at this point, they're like a daily practice, and I don't know how to sketch without them. So now let's get into my top 10 favorite colors. The first color that I always reach for 9 times out of 10 is 192 Asparagus. It's a muted olive, I would say, maybe a little bit bluer toned, but I use this all the time. I use it in landscapes, I use it in botanical sketches. It's a perfect neutral green for me, and it's light enough that I can do one layer without it being too intense, but I can also layer it up if I want to get darker greens with it. This next color is 772 Dusty Rose. It's such a pretty muted carnation pink almost is what I think of when I look at it. It's not as bright as a traditional carnation pink. It has just enough softness to it that it just blends with pretty much every color palette I add it to. It just always works. The next color is 991 Light Ochre. I find that I need a yellow of some kind in most of my sketches. I do a lot of food illustration with sketching or with my markers. I do a lot of botanical drawings. When I went to Bouchard Gardens in Victoria this summer, I found it very helpful to have this color when I was sketching on the ferry because there's so many plants that have yellow in them, obviously. This next color is 910 Opal. It's a really pale, peachy, I want to say like Caucasian skin tone, but it's a little bit more pinky than that. It's such a perfect throwdown color when I'm trying to do blocks of color for my landscape. I really like this color a lot. I reach for it all the time. This next color is 533 Peacock Blue. I don't find this to be a peacock color. I was Googling the name a couple times because I wanted to make sure it wasn't mislabeled on the Tombow website, but it is a cool tone baby blue to me. It straddles that like lilac or lavender, I should say, blue and like baby blue. This next one is 346 Sea Green. I love having a cool tone deep green. It's really pretty for when I think of jungle sketches. I used it as a tablecloth in one of my sketches where I used a bright orange up against it. I think it was sketching persimmons, and the color combo was gorgeous. I loved it so much. This one also, if you do a couple layers, it can get very dark. This one is 098 Avocado. I always need some sort of like dirty green color. And this is a brownish green. I always find myself using them to, I don't know, they're like a middle ground when I'm using bright colors. I feel like those kind of colors really help ground my sketches. This one is N89. This is warm gray. I use warm gray for shadows all the time, and I always find myself gravitating towards warmer grays in general, no matter what media I'm using. I just really like it, and it's a perfect shadow color, or if I'm just wanting to put in like an outline for something that's white, I find that super helpful. This next one is 921 Pale Cherry. I love this color. I think pale cherry is the perfect description for this color. I use it all the time. Once again, I use all of these all the time, so I shouldn't have to keep saying that. It's a pale pinky orange. It's a peachy, muted color, and it's like one of my, I would say, top 3. And this last one is 992 Sand Brown. This is just a must-have for my landscape sketches. I use it constantly, and I would rebuy this the second it dried out. I thought I'd throw a bonus one in here because I can't help myself, and it is 905 Red. I find this to be much more of an orangey red. I think I mentioned something about persimmons earlier, and it's like a persimmons red to me. It's a very warm red, which I also prefer warm reds. It's so bright and punchy, and it's like making its way up my favorites list very quickly. I've had it as long as I've had these other colors, but I've kind of ignored it. But recently, I've really been leaning towards it. So those are my current top 10 favorite colors that Tombow has, plus that bonus color. I wanted to do a quick sketch with these colors, so I decided to grab one of the cookbooks in my kitchen. I really love this snacking cakes one because it has a lot of pretty dessert pictures, and I'm just gonna thumb through that and find a good reference image to sketch from. So there's so many pretty ones, but I end up deciding to do this sesame cake piece with strawberries drizzled over it because I thought it would be a good way to use all those pinks and reds that I have in my favorites list. I just want to take a minute really quick to say thank you to everyone who has liked and commented on my videos. It has meant so much to me. I've really appreciated the conversations I've had in my comment section and just having people to talk to about art. It's made me so happy. I'm inching my way closer to my first 1,000 subscribers, which is so exciting. If you like my videos and you like my content, if you would consider subscribing, it would mean the world to me. This has been so much fun. I'm so glad I decided to start making videos, and I'm just excited to keep growing my channel and see how it evolves. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share my videos. That would really help out my channel, and I would be so appreciative. Here is the finished sketch. I tried to incorporate all of the colors in my top favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I would love to know what your favorite Tombow colors are, or how you use your markers, if you use any, what your favorite brands are. Please leave all that in the comment section below. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys about it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!